All kinds of games make use of two simple things: objects bobbing up and down and objects rotating. And in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do both of these in less than 30 lines of code. First, you would want some sort of asset that you would like to do some bobbing and rotating to. I just use this free coin asset from the Unity asset store. Then you're going to want to create a simple script and call it something like bob and rotate. Open up that Unity script and remove the start and update function like all of the other Unity tutorials, because a clean fresh start just looks more appealing, I suppose. From there, we're immediately going to start with the bobbing. We're going to need an int for the y offset value. This value is just to set how high we want the object to be off the ground. Then a float to control how fast we want the object to bob up and down. A float for how far the object should move between point A and B. And then finally a reference to the position that the object will start in. A quick note on what I'm doing here with the variables. I'm giving them the serialized field properties so that I can expose them in the inspector, so that I can tweak the values without having to do so in code every time I want to change something. Then for these, I'm giving them a range so that I can adjust them with a slider where the values will be clamped between those two values. Cool. Now in the start method, we'll set the current position of the object to the current position plus the offset by creating a new vector 3 where we have 0 for the x, the y offset variable for the y, and 0 for the z. We do this because we can't explicitly go and just add an int value to a vector 3. A more simple way to write this would be to shorten it to transform.position plus equals and then the new vector 3 we just created. It does the same thing, just written in a more simplified way. And now that we've put the object in a position we want, we can then say that the original position is equal to the transform.position of the object. And now we can go ahead and create the update method, and in here we'll do the actual bobbing of the object. We'll take transform.position is equal to original position plus mathf.sign, which gives us a value between -1 and 1 depending on the input. So in this we'll write time.time times bobbing speed, and then outside the brackets we'll then multiply it by up-down difference divided by 2, and then multiply that by a vector 3.up to convert the result into a vector 3. The reason why we divide the up-down difference by 2 is because it'll travel half of the up-down difference value up and then half of the value down, giving us the value of what we want between A and B. And then the reason we multiply the result of up-down difference divided by 2 by vector 3.up is because we need it to be a vector 3 in this scenario. So this is now again basically the same as saying new vector 3 and then in brackets 0 for x, up-down difference divided by 2 for y, and then 0 for z. But we'll just keep it the way we had it before. Run that, and here we can see the coin bobbing up and down the way we want it to. Awesome. Now it's time for the rotation. So for rotation, the first thing we'll want is the rotation speed. So we'll just go ahead and create a float value for it and expose it in the inspector and give it a range between 0 and 1. Then in update, all we need to do is go and type transform.rotate 0 for x, rotation speed for y, and 0 for z. The reason we put rotation speed on the y is so that it spins like how we would intuitively like to see a coin spin. We can also apply that same rotation speed value to the other axes, and then we can have control over that too. For even better control, we can actually create new variables for each axis and then apply those variables to those values of the rotation part. We can then save and run that, and then you have full control over the rotation of the object. And then just to make sure everything stays consistent across all frame rates, definitely go ahead and change this part out with a new vector 3 and multiply that vector 3 with time.delta time. And then you can go up to the rotation variables again and then change the range to -1000 and 1000. And there we go. That's all you need to know in order to do a floating and rotating coin. You can swap the coin out for literally any other object and play around with the variables. Swap sign out for something else, use noise or whatever. Just have fun and learn. If you'd like this script, you can download it from the link in the description. Please subscribe for more and like the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you all in the next one. Cheers.